My name is Paul Connett. I am a retired professor of chemistry. I specialize in environmental chemistry and toxicology whilst teaching at St. Lawrence University in Canton, New York. I've been researching the fluoridation issue and fluoride's toxicity for 16 years. And after 14 years of that research, with two other scientists, I produced this book, The Case Against Fluoride. Now, in your conference, you're going to be hearing a lot of the evidence that we presented in this book. In short, fluoridation is neither safe nor effective, and the science underpinning the promotion of fluoridation is very poor indeed. Now, the good news is that fluoridation is as easy to end as turning off a tap, the spigot at the waterworks. So if you've got a strong wrist, the politicians can actually stop fluoridation tomorrow in Perth and throughout Australia. The trouble is, to get that strength in the wrist of the politicians, we need political will. And right now, they don't have that political will. To change that, we need masses of people educated and organized. And hats off to you folks in Perth, because you're doing just that. And what is happening in Perth is that the Perth authorities are doing to everyone in Perth what a doctor, an individual doctor, cannot do to an individual patient, which is to force them to take medicine. And citizens should be confronting their doctors with this. How come, doctor, you are allowing our government to force medicine onto me without my informed consent? How can you stand by silently and let the dentist get away with this? But in actual fact, the dentists have no qualifications on bones, on brains, on the endocrine system, on the thyroid gland, or any other tissue in the body except teeth. All those doctors and public health officials who claim that the evidence is overwhelming, this confidence disappears when somebody who knows something about the arguments is prepared to debate them in public. It's almost like a religion. They believe in fluoridation. I think most dentists in Australia believe in fluoridation because that's all they are taught in dental school. The mainstream media only give this a fantastically superficial treatment. They go out and quote both sides. They say things like this. The Center of Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia, says that fluoridation is one of the top 10 public health achievements of the 20th century. Then they do their duty and quote Mrs. Clutterbuck from down the road, who thinks that fluoridation is a bad idea. And then they present this to the public as if this is some kind of balanced treatment. We've got over 100 animal studies that indicate that fluoride damages the brain. We have 10 animal studies which shows that fluoride can change behavior. We have 3 fetal studies from China which indicates that fluoride can interfere with the development of the infant's brain, the fetal brain. And we have now 36 studies which indicate an association with fairly modest fluoride exposure and lowered IQ. A child in Australia or a child in America drinking 2 liters of water at 1 part per million, which is the average level used in fluoridation, is going to get more fluoride than one of those Chinese children drinking 1 liter of water at 1.9 parts per million. As I said, this should stop fluoridation in its tracks, but it isn't, because it's a religious crusade on their part.